We invite Mr. Ravi Narayanan, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director, SMFG India Credit Company Limited.
I would request Mr. Ravi Narayan, sir, if you could just take that up from a credit inclusion side and get us started.
Thank you. Thank you, Radhika. Thank you, Fiki, for having us here. Uh, Predominantly, the way we look at lending is based on the fact that do we have the capability to assess? Do we have the information to assess? And therefore, does that information flow democratically and seamlessly? I think if these principal foundational pillars are provided, I think that the risk export is purely based on regulatory sequencing. I think if the regulator or the supervising authority in that sovereign nation is looking at the ability to allow to build first, observe, and then kind of bringing the safety elements, I think credit risk can be managed because data becomes very secular. So if the public infrastructure builds the rails, the participants kind of run the train, and the regulator acts as a steward and not a gatekeeper, I think credit risk is something which can definitely be exported. And why not? I mean, if you look at a tourist who's going to another country, which is a, kind of picking up the DPI that India has brought in, or a student who goes to another country to study based on the DPI backbone that the sovereign has picked up from India, I think availability of seamless data, information assessment will only help in getting the credit risk also exported. But I think the overlay is always going to be regulatory sequencing. You know, how much does the regulator act to allow innovation rather than pick it up as a means of ensuring gatekeeping? I think that's where I will stay. Yes, if I can add to that, what Kalyanji said. I think, broadly speaking, a bank has a larger footprint, but even us as an NBFC who predominantly work on the rural side, I'll restrict myself not to the products, but the means to deliver those products. So I think data is what is very important. Even the previous session talked about how AI can be used provided there is fidelity of data, right? Or availability of data. And I think the way one should look at it is, can I get more and more data as we get into the rural setup? So the broad perspective was there are rails, and now how do I make it more inclusive? Uh, Between countries in the south-south, there is always this legacy infrastructure problem, high number of population which is now increasingly becoming digital, MSME, and they are all self-employed in the larger upcountry rural areas. So this is a broad perspective and landscape which is there. So from the DPI perspective, I think what one should be looking for as an example from India is how data is being made available more and more structured manner in the Indian state. So from a federal UPI kind of an approach, it is now getting into the state level where states in their own jurisdictions are ensuring that more registered digital data is available. Land, for example, is a classic example of how more and more data, which immediately impacts the ability to assess risk, assess the credibility, and the kind of loan that one can do in terms of lending. So I think if I go further, we are even asking for, the milk farmers daily produce data to be made available. 10, 11 years back, I remember we did milk to money, which was very simple, but it was very localized, right? So the milk farmer comes and puts in the milk in a machine. The machine tests the fat content and basis that decides the quality and the quantity of the milk poured in that is credited into his account as money, and there's an ATM machine next and he picks out the money, right? So milk to money was very localized. The same concept can be made larger scalable if we use DPI. The data is available. And that is exactly, for example, we are talking of ULI as a platform. So UPI, in lending we have ULI. It has not yet started off in the sense of what it can do, but if all this infrastructure and data availability through the aggregator platforms and the entities which deliver this kind of data can be brought together, we have another winner in our hand, which is the ULI platform, ready to take off. And that is exactly, if we were to do a south to south, sovereign to sovereign, scalable export, which can be done in other countries, which is exactly what the Southeast or South Asian countries are all about, you will find that the same ULI will run as the UPI is now beginning to be exported to other countries. Thank you. Thank you. Radhika, I would put it as we have set up the infrastructure, we have brought scale, but there is an opportunity to also make it more federal, which means that just in India, and that is how the economy is there across all countries similar to us, south-south, is that there is a difference in regional elements, there is distributed vernaculars, and therefore if this can help connect diversity rather than flatten it. Today we have flattened the ability to engage, but can we connect diversity, and therefore that gives us an opportunity to actually look at the largest set of businesses which give employment and where everybody is engaged, which is the MSME or self-employed, unorganized sector, which is what is there in other countries where we are engaging with. So digital discovery for the MSMEs in all countries which are connected. I think if DPI can help elevate digital discovery of each other and therefore give an opportunity to actually export services and goods which the MSMEs are doing. So there is DPI, there is access, there is cost, and then there is actual monetization by digital discovery. I think that's what we should be looking at. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, dignitaries. Thank you, gentlemen, for that wonderful, insightful, informative session we had.